Hey folks, Roland Martin here with Roland Martin Unfiltered, broadcasting live from Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Stewart Speaker Series, they have their State of Black Issues taking place. I'll be, I don't know if I'm moderating this panel, I'm sitting on it. I'm one of the two, but of course, joining us on the panel will be Reverend Al Sharpton, Susan Taylor, and also Michael Eric Dyson. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. We want to thank all of our sponsors for the show, and I want to talk about right now with freeprints.com. You can get 1,000 4x6 photos for a very nominal fee by going to freeprints.com. You can actually print your photos directly from Instagram, Facebook, as well as other sources. And look, you pay a small shipping charge, but you have no subscriptions or commitments whatsoever. You can download freeprints.com app on Google Play or iTunes App Store to actually get it. And do me a favor. When they say, where did you, of course, find this out? Use the code Roland. Use the code Roland. They're the #1 rated photo printing app in the world with more than 100,000 5-star reviews. And so we certainly want to thank them for being one of our sponsors here with Roland Martin Unfiltered. So go to freeprints.com and again, use the code Roland. Now it's back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. Hey, joining us right now is Reverend Sharpton. Reverend, good to see you.
Good to be with you, Roland.
There are a lot of things happening. First of all, one of the top things we were going to talk about on the show is what's happening in Georgia. We're seeing what's happening there, in Missouri, what's happening with Native Americans in North Dakota as well. I mean, this is a consistent pattern of Republicans using voter suppression tactics. In fact, in this state, Greg Palast has reported hundreds of thousands of people who have been purged from the voting rolls in the past several years.
Indiana has had the purging problem. North Dakota doing it to Native Americans. We've seen it in North Carolina. And, of course, what Georgia's doing would make Jim Crow blush. This whole asinine thing of if an apostrophe is not there, if Tom says Thomas on his registration, all of these are ways to undermine our right to vote. It should not discourage us. It should make us more determined. And one of the things that we need to talk about is how we double up our efforts and come out in larger numbers to show that we cannot and will not be suppressed. It is clearly their attitude that they know that they will be defeated, so they've got to cheat.
And one of the things that also that jumps out, and I've been saying this for the last several years, Black Republicans refuse to stand as a group and condemn the Republican Party. People will individually say on my show, this isn't right, it isn't fair, it's not just. And I've been saying, okay, I want to see why. I want to see a multitude of Black Republicans stand before the Republican National Committee in D.C. and say to the party, stop suppressing the votes of Black people.
I think you're right. I think also that we've not seen Black Republicans stand up and say, what is our offer or counter agenda, rather than just attacking the Democrats or attacking civil rights leaders or attacking academicians. Because I remember when I was just coming into the movement as a kid, you had Black Republicans that had a Black agenda.
Senator Edward Brooke, Massachusetts, of course. You
elected in 68. When Shirley Chisholm ran in 72, you had Arthur Fletcher in the Nixon administration who wrote affirmative action.
Right.
People don't understand affirmative action came from Undersecretary of Labor, a Black Republican, Arthur Fletcher. So where is the Black agenda Black Republicans coming? They keep saying, well, don't everybody go with the Democrats. Well, put some on the table that you can get your party to support and your president. There is no Black agenda in the Republican side. And I think that that is a part and parcel of what you've been saying about they won't even stand up to protect the right to vote.
And of course, Colin Powell did. He did it in front of Governor Pat McCrory in North Carolina. He was sitting in front. He said, what you are doing with voter ID in this state is wrong. And of course, the federal courts ruled that they had a laser-like targeting of Black voters. We see, last question for you, we see critical races happening. Obviously, Andrew Gillum in Florida up in the polls there. Basically, it's tied in Georgia with Stacey Abrams against Brian Kemp. Ben Jealous is down big time to Larry Hogan in Maryland. And then, of course, we're seeing potentially you could have anywhere from 52 to 56 members of the Congressional Black Caucus, depending on what happens in November as well. And so from Democratic Party standpoint, granted, it's getting ahead, but if Democrats take over the House, black folks are going to make a strong case. It's time for a black Speaker of the House.
No doubt about it. It's time for a black Speaker of the House. And let me say, we've not, I met with 100 ministers here today. One of the things I was saying is we've got to remember our history, and it's not even that distant history. We are acting like we can't elect 3 black governors, and as you accurately said, 56 to 60 black members of Congress, and have a black speaker. We just elected and reelected a black president. I mean, do we forget our ability to move forward? The least we should be able to do is get 2 or 3 governors and 50 some odd congressmen after what we showed the world we could do with Obama in our lifetime. Unless you 3 years old, you were alive during that time. So we don't have to go back to Frederick Douglass. In our lifetime, we elected and reelected a black president. The least we should do is be able to come in with some governors and a huge jump in black caucus members. And let me say this, part of the problem is that voices have been cut off. For someone like you, Roland Martin, as the voice of black America, not to have major outlets, they have not won the fight, they've cut off the ring.
Right. And
we need to also address how they've cut off our ability to communicate. In our meeting here today with the ministers, King Rowe is here, used to be a radio announcer. There used to be over 300 black-owned radio stations.
Yep.
Now we're down to under 60. There used to be 10 disc jockeys could make or break a record. Black, Frankie Crocker, Rodney Jones, where you knew Chicago and all. Now it's all controlled and prescribed. So they feel they can take a Kanye and do what they want because we can't undercut them and take them off the air because we don't even control our stations anymore. We've got to get the microphone back so we can mobilize our people.
Well, I had a sister who of course, sent me a tweet yesterday. She said, but she says, but are you being blackballed? What's going on? I said, look, I'm not waiting for somebody else to do to create it. I said, we created this platform here. We did 8 million plus views last month. I'm going to keep building it. And so at the end of the day, we got to do the same thing other folks are doing. Take advantage of technology and create our own.
No, you've done that admirably, but it's still
I agree.
Right.
Oh, I got you.
And I'm saying you need to do both and.
Yep.
Because I think that, from when you were a youngster and all the way through the Chicago Defender, you paid the dues. And when I see them putting other people out there as commentators who don't even know what they're talking about and who are experts at reading rather than talking about people that have been in the trenches. I can't remember a major march in the last 35 years that I've been out here nationally that you were not there. So it is not that you're giving an opinion of an opinion that you read.
Right.
You were there.
Right.
Whether you agreed with us or disagreed.
In the room.
And we could have disagreements, but you were in the room and said, no, that ain't true about so-and-so, or that is true. But I think that cuts off our history because it's bigger than our personality.
Absolutely.
And I think that I wanted to say that while we are Roland Martin unfiltered.
I appreciate it, Reverend Sharpton. Thanks so much.
All right,
I appreciate it.